We're here in San Francisco, just 2 blocks from City Hall, where you can see open-air drug use and drug dealing is still the norm. And we're here to talk to Brooke Jenkins, the new city DA, who pledges to make crime illegal again and balance criminal justice reform with law and order. We'll see how she plans to do it. This is Not My Party, brought to you by the Bulwark. Good to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Tim, didn't realize your height you were gonna have me like this. I should have wore some lifts or something. Yeah. So your predecessor was a progressive district attorney, but you got put into this office because the voters recalled him.
After 2.5 years in office, Chase Boudin is out.
How unusual is it that that would be the way you get into office?
It's extremely unusual. I believe it's the first time it's happened, as far as I know, in the state of California that a district attorney has been recalled. And so, in my view, the DA's office under the previous administration had decriminalized certain offenses, things like drug dealing, quite frankly.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, I wanted to pull up one example when it comes to the drug dealing. There was a dealer allegedly arrested in July, in November, in December, and then again later in December, his 4th arrest. Back in July, he had 400 grams of fentanyl on him. Why is this guy getting back on the street?
The previous administration, they weren't asking for anyone who committed a drug offense to be detained. And so I've come in with a very different approach to say, we're not going to allow these people to just cycle back out onto the street.
Yeah, so on that point, so you said to the New York Times in July, no longer can we accept open air drug markets as simply being part of big city life and life in San Francisco. We were driving around the streets today and we saw those open air markets. Why is this taking so long and what can be done about it?
I can impose consequences, but that requires arrests to happen first. And we don't want cops driving by saying somebody looks like a drug dealer, because what does that look like?
Right.
No more stop and frisk.
Got it.
Okay?
Okay.
Stop and frisk is perfectly constitutional.
That's your solution?
So let's talk about that though. I'm for criminal justice reform. We have to balance law and order and dealing with the criminals with having a humane reaction to people that are using drugs or addicted to drugs. How do we deal with that?
We have to look and see, is this a repeat offender drug dealer who clearly is just somebody who's committed to that being their career and their trade? Or is it a situation where somebody is doing something because they are an addict and they're trying to support their habit or something else? So we have to make those individualized assessments to make sure that we treat everybody fairly for their individual circumstance.
What about shoplifting, for example? What should be done with somebody who's stealing from Target?
We are all sick and tired of going into Target and seeing the shelves cleared out, having to ask for assistance to be provided toothpaste, right, or deodorant because everything is locked up now.
But I mean, we don't want them doing hard time now, right? I mean, you steal some toothpaste from Target. Like, what are we supposed to do about somebody like that?
Again, is it somebody stealing food because they need to eat?
Right.
Or is it someone who is a part of an organized retail theft ring who is stealing products that they're just reselling on the internet or out of their garage? They have to be dealt with in a different way than the person who maybe is down on their luck and steals something that they need as a necessity.
There's a huge difference. Gotta learn to listen.
So let's talk about the perspective from the left. I mean, some people might say you're sounding a little bit like Trump here, a little MAGA. Maybe you should just put on the red hat with all this law and order talk. And you're still a Democrat, right?
I'm a Democrat and I was elected by a city full of Democrats. They want public safety as well, and that's what I represent.
Safety first!
So on the personal side of things, you're a woman of color. There are a lot of young people that have skepticism or even hostility towards police. I'm wondering how you've processed that and how your background meets this job.
I grew up raised in a black family, extremely skeptical of the police. I grew up listening to my grandmother talk about her having an older brother that I never got to meet because he died in police custody. And I'll tell you, I think like most people of color, when I first started interacting with the police, you get this anxiety inside when you see the uniform. But we serve a valuable function in this society.
So broadly speaking, how should Democrats relate to the police?
You don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You try to figure out how we can have more fair policing without the stereotypes, without the profiling, without the disparate treatment of people of color. We cannot eliminate police. Most people would tell you right now they want an increased police presence in their communities, including the black community and the Latino community.
There's a lot of uncertainty out there about the state of their communities.
Thank you so much, District Attorney.
It's a tough job.
But somebody's got to do it.
So that was my convo with District Attorney Jenkins. I'm curious what your thoughts are about policing. Tell us if you agree with her balanced approach, or if you think cities should have stuck with the more progressive model, or do you think we need a Singapore-style MAGA crackdown on all dealers? Curious to hear, and we'll see you next week for more Not My Party. For more episodes of Not My Party, smash that subscribe button. And scan right here to subscribe on Snapchat, where you can get the episodes first and all the Not My Party content you desire.